and welcome back to Celly SZN. And we have got, Jesus Christ, I can't believe it. 2 wins on the bounce. One against, one against Chelsea and one against Brighton. Now, Brighton one, I was kind of expecting it to win, but Chelsea though? I mean, Chelsea, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, are you kidding me? Pulisic, Carlos Olsen-Odoi, and you're telling me that we scored 3 and we couldn't score 1 goal from open play this season. I'm gassed. And to join in my gassness, to the person that's gonna try and balance me down and calm me down because I am so excited, is the one and only is the one and only Kenny. He is from the Pints of Malt podcast. He's got his own magazine company. It's called Slide Motif. Actually, it's not just magazine. It's actually a media platform. I'm so happy that he's a gooner. His knowledge is impeccable, and I'm so happy that you're on here to talk about this with me because, in all fairness,
appreciate you having me on.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, guys. If I'm turning back and forth, like sometimes I'm focused on this cam, sometimes I'm focused on the screen, believe me, it's because that's where the cameras are. I'm not ignoring you guys. I just want to put a disclaimer out there. But Kenny, what happened in the weekend? Can we talk about this? Can we just talk about this? How did you feel?
Me, do you know what? Right at the weekend, I was very confused. I was just hella confused because I did not understand what kind of performance was going on. When we started off right calm, it was like, okay, there was some pace, cool. And then 1-0, I'm like, all right, cool, calm. It was a penalty in it. So I'm like, all right, calm. And then second goal goes in. I'm like, nah, this is what? 2-0 halftime. All right, cool. Then 3-0. I was like, yeah, it's game over, man. Like, I was like, wait, what is going on?
I was at work. Yeah, I was actually at work when I first saw this. I saw the penalty, and I was celebrating the penalty. I was sliding the work, but the second goal went in. I couldn't celebrate. I was stunned. I sat down. There was a Liverpool fan there with me. He's like, I'm surprised you're not celebrating. I'm like, what? I'm like, I still can't believe it's like I scored a free kick. I was like,
fam. It was a fantastic free kick as well.
You know what I mean? I'm like, where have you been? Where has this technique been? Oh Lord. So the question I gotta ask is, what do you think? Do you think based on these 2 results, because it's 2 big results, and it could change the course of the season. It could change how players approach the game It could change everything. What do you think about Mikel Arteta and how he's handled the job so far since he came in 2019?
Do you know what, right? Like I said, it's been a year now, hasn't it? It's been just over a year now. And I think it's a mixed bag for me. It's a mixed bag. I think when he first came in, when he first started, I was so excited because I remember before we got Emery and he was interviewed, I was like, I really want Arteta. I was like, yeah, man's Pep's number 2. He's been doing bits with them. He was under Wenger as well. He knows what the club is about. I was like, all right, cool, excited. If we didn't get him, I was like, all right, cool, we'll stick with Emery.
Sorry to cut you off quickly, but
go on.
Point because your point actually kind of sparked a thought in my head because there was an excitement when he took over that I couldn't contextualize, but when he said that, it kind of makes sense now because he did come from Pep Guardiola. That's where he came from. Obviously, studying under his era. That's where the initial excitement come from. But now that you said that he played under Wenger, now I remember. Oh yeah, he must have learned under Wenger before even moving on. So he knows both.
Exactly.
He knows the identity of the club as well as how he wants to develop himself tactically. I'm pretty sure he must have like under Wenger and seeing under Wenger and going to meet Guardiola and seeing contrasting styles like that, that must have been like, oh, what kind of identity can I forge for myself? Do you think do you think he does have what it takes? Because I'm not gonna lie, this season has really, I was really optimistic last season, the way he started off.
Yeah.
But this season,
Yeah. Yeah.
even as me, I am an eternal optimist.
Yeah.
Nothing can really make me believe anything can go wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even casting my mind back to when Arsenal were supposed to be, win the league in 2015 against Leicester, and it was so impossible. I was like, you know what? If we win these games, and it was impossible. I was like, if we
Yeah.
win this game, we could probably, unless they lose all their games, we could probably win. And
Yeah.
everyone knew that it wasn't going to happen. So that's just how person I am. But this season, the way he started with the Ozil situation, with everything, yeah, even I was like, yo, I think I was wrong about this guy.
Yeah. No,
Like,
we'll talk.
like,
No, I completely get you. So basically, you're asking like, what do I think? I'm like, no, I completely get you. I'd be the same. I'd be a huge optimist every single time, even if it's unless it's mathematically impossible. I think it's possible. So it's like, so whenever like Arsenal are going through a rough patch, I'm like, next game we'll beat them. Next game we will do something. So after like what 6-7 games on the bounce, and we're just shockingly bad. I was a bit like, okay, Arteta, what you're doing. You're moving a bit mad.
Yeah.
But me personally, I was never.
Sometimes he was so deep as well. Sometimes he was so deep in the first half. Like the game hasn't even played yet, and you're defending everyone back against Villa. And I was like, are you okay? Like, this is still Villa. I mean, I know they're doing well, but we should be on the front foot with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that made me think
exactly. Especially at home, innit? At home, you're like, come on, play out. And like, but this is the thing. I was never on the bagging. I was never saying I wasn't there yet. There, but like, Arteta out and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was getting frustrated, and I was saying that. But I did still think that he does have the right skills, and he does have the. I've seen enough to say that he can do a good job given the right resources and given the right players. The problem is we don't have the right players, and we don't seem to be giving him the right resources. Because they did like,
I agree.
Granted, they did decent job in the summer. We're not gonna lie. Everybody was very optimistic when they get Gabriel, when Partey came in. So I always forget his name is the Real Madrid fella. Sayabas came back. Ceballos came back. What's called Saka signed, Aubameyang signed. There was optimism. Like, and nobody can say that, deny that, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm excited. I'm like, all right, top 4 challenge. Okay, I'm excited. I'm like, all right, top 4 challenge. Do well in Europa League. Let's see where we get to. If we can get a cup along the way, calm. I was like, cool. He's steadying the ship.
Yeah.
So, like, I just think that he needs more time.
Yeah.
And the problem is, if you're getting bad results and you need more time, you're not going to get that time.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just sometimes it's the manner which he was getting the results, and like the personnel he was playing and sticking with. And I think that just comes to his naivety and as a coach, because like there's more experienced coaches than him that have done the same thing, that have done fuckeries like that, you know. So
I completely agree with you. And even to add on to the point that you even said as well, in regards to the fact that you were so optimistic at the start.
Makes no sense.
And then to see him drop so far
it's baffling, bruv. Like, imagine we won the FA Cup against Chelsea, and we were like, parts of it they troubled us, but we were comfortable.
Exactly.
Liverpool Community Shield, again, another good win.
Yeah.
I remember the Fulham game, I think it was 4-0. We weren't great, but there was signs of a good team being there, you know. So then to just go off and go on this losing streak, I'm like, nah, what's going on?
And to also, I don't know, as well, to that point as well, the fact that he has actually been able to get some kind of points out of such a bad run, and he's a new manager as well, that I think he deserves some plaudits from that, at least to get something out of this, to at least enter into the window with at least some kind of bargaining chip to say, look, we are on the up. We just need you to come in and fill this place.
Yep.
You know, to me, in such a in a transfer window, when it's winter transfer window, it's hard to convince players to come and leave
Of course.
their season because they're thinking, I need my form has to be on point, especially if they're internationals.
Yeah,
My form has to be on
exactly.
point.
Euros
If I
coming
go
up.
to the Premier League, especially with the transfer targets that is in line to come. Like for example, Isco. I don't see Isco coming. He is a perfect fit for what
Mm,
we need. He plays left, right, and center,
mm.
and he's definitely attacking midfielder. But I can't see him coming because obviously he's frozen out at Real Madrid, yeah, and now Seville and us are interested in him. I can't see him risking a brand new league
Yeah,
and trying to prove himself in the league on loan and still try and get into the Spanish squad. I can't see him doing that. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, exactly.
Like that's too
Exactly.
much.
And at a club like
It,
exactly, and at a club like Arsenal, where it's not like he's coming in to like help us to
yeah,
like as in proper
yeah.
help,
We,
not as in oh he's coming in to complement
yeah,
what we have. We have a good thing
yeah.
going
He's
on,
coming in to help.
and we just need some extra bodies and stuff.
Yeah, as you said, he's
He's
coming
coming into work. Like
in. Second, I couldn't.
no, go on.
Oh,
What were you saying?
my bad. I think the connection is like it's like clashing us. But what I was trying to say, and then I'll let you have the floor again. Is I do understand, especially if he comes in,
Yeah.
helps us, and then he has a very good season. He's going into the squad. He gets it. It's
Mm,
more of a bonus if he does that. But again, at the same time, it's a great risk because if it goes the other way, he's probably not going to get into the Spain squad again. Um, like
yeah, for sure.
how do you think he has managed the squad and he has looked on a transfer? Like, what do you think of him in terms of squad management and in terms of maneuvering the transfer market? Do you think there's even much hope for us there? I mean, considering how he's treated William Saliba, considering how he's treated, we know Guendouzi is a bit of a bad boy, but you know, why is Nelson not even
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
team? Sometimes I wonder
yeah,
these
yeah.
things.
No, I
You know
get
what I
you.
mean? Like, what do you
I
think about that? Like, do you think it's the cause for
I do
concern?
think it's a cause with him, and it's something that I'm very worried about with him because he seems like he has that thing of like I don't know, he seems like very one-minded sometimes, and he's not willing to if someone does something one time, he doesn't sort of I don't know if he I don't know. It's a weird one because I have seen him give people chances and come back like Shaka. Shaka's William,
Brilliant.
you know, and like
He's brilliant.
he's given some
Brilliant.
people some chances, and I'm like, all right, cool. I can see if someone, everybody has a bad day, or has a few bad games, but you need to give them chances in it. Same with Pepe. Pepe got sent off. He put him back into the team. He brought him back in. That kind of thing. So he, I do
Yeah.
think some of his management with certain players is a bit iffy. It's a bit off. It's a bit like, why are you doing that with them?
Yeah.
But then
Oh yeah.
it's hard because you don't know the ins and outs, and there's a lot of like other influences, and it always seems to be the case with Arsenal. There's other influences that we don't seem to know about, and like we just think like, why is he not playing this guy, or why is this like not happening? Like why is Salah not playing? Why is Ozil not in the team? Like what is that about? Like what's going on there? It doesn't add up. Like when you look at it objectively and look at what the kind of the players we have and the players we need, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. But then you have to think about, okay,
No.
like there's no way someone he's a smart guy. He's very intelligent. He's very astute in football. He knows what he knows what he's talking about. Like he understands the game. There's no way someone of his like that is
Mm.
missing is not it's not seeing the problems,
I
and not
I hundred
seeing.
percent. I do believe he sees the problems. If I'm being honest, I actually do think because the first thing he did was sign Gabriel, and that was a massive. We know
Yeah,
how much of a problem our centre backs have been. He signed Mari, and both Gabriel and Mari. In all fairness, I'll give my judgment. I'm still reserving my judgment on Mari because I do think we could do so much better as well at the same time. But
of
he
course.
is very, from what I've noticed, he's very methodical. Like
Mm,
the fact that he prioritizes the feet of a player and before bringing it in is something because he only went for Mari because he was left footed, and we need a left-sided centre back because he was
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when I look at things like that, I'm like, this is a coach that actually knows the squad. It's a squad that he took over
Exactly.
in a
Yeah.
couple of months, and he knew, okay, cool, this is a player I need to bring in. This is who I need to bring in. Even with who did he sign? I don't think he did he make much signings even. I can't remember the signings he made in January. I don't think he made
in January. I think Suarez. He brought Suarez in as well.
On loan,
or Cedric.
Yeah,
on loan.
That's it. Like, and which was a good signing as well because we needed to put pressure on Mail now to actually play a bit because he was going through a bad patch of form and
exactly
with Hector Bellerin.
Yeah, so we needed a cover.
He goes and he's like, okay, I know this. So when I look at it from that point of view, I have no problem in the transfer market. It's the squad management because, in all fairness, I still don't know why he called back recalled Saliba and not used him once. That's something I don't get. The guy missed the final for no reason. He missed the French Cup final for no reason. Like that could have been
exactly. This is the thing.
That could have been experience. He could have got that trophy, come back in. But obviously, I don't know what's going on. But the fact that he hasn't been able to get that experience to come in and start the season with is just it's baffling to me as well.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because like Saliba's like he keeps saying this thing of like he's not sort of he said this thing of he's not ready for like the league and stuff or like the pace of the game or whatever anyway, right? And I was like, all right, cool, fair enough, cool, that makes sense. Like he's a young kid coming into the team, like he play a few games under 23s, have the step up, play in the Carabao Cup, play in Europa, right? He's not in any of that. And then you look at Leicester and you see Fofana, who was Saliba's deputy two seasons ago, like for the past 2 seasons, and he's bossing. He's bossing. So I'm like, there's no way Saliba is not bossing the league if he comes in. There's no way. I refuse to believe it.
It's like you're watching his like. How does he pair up with him and then one is shit? That doesn't make sense. And they were both on form in the season that year. Just like in my
head. Those kind of things. That's where I'm like,
I agree. I see what you mean because I really do wish we as fans can get a bit more insight because we don't really have much insight into this. But really quickly, I do want to wrap it up. I do got a couple of questions that I want to ask you, which is
of course.
If it was one player to sell during doesn't have to be the January, doesn't have to could be the summer as well. One player to sell, who would it be? One player to buy, who would it be? One player to really develop, who would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one because one player to sell, I don't have one player. I have like 5, 6, 7 players that I want to sell straight up. One player to sell. Oh, I think one player that I don't see any benefit of having is probably Kolasinac. Kolasinac, especially like of players that are in the squad at the moment. Kolasinac, no need for him whatsoever. He's an absolute liability.
The fact, to add on to your point, the fact that we only have one left back, and that's Kieran Tierney, and the other left back we have is Saka, and he's not been playing left back, and he's not been getting into the team. It's something that's it's something.
You know, like Maitland-Niles plays left back, man, and he's not even left footed. Like it's complete bollocks, bro. No, Kolasinac can dip. He can dip. He brings nothing. Like even Willian, I can still see some energy from him sometimes or something. Kolasinac is brain dead. And then I think it was last week. Who did we play? I don't know who we played, and we lost, right? And there was a true ball into Saka, and he doesn't play the true ball. Everybody could see it, but he doesn't. Nah, he can dip, man. I hate. One player to buy.
Who would you buy?
Honestly, I'm bringing Jack Grealish to the team. Jack Grealish every single day of the year, because Jack Grealish is for me. I just think he has he's the link between the attack and the midfield, and I think that's what we're missing because Jack is. I think the closest player we have to Jack is Saka, But I think Saka still has a way to go, and I don't really. He's been bossing it, but I don't want to put too much pressure on him. I think Jack, right age, right temperament. He plays in that calm, just to the left.
Yeah.
Can is comfortable on the ball on both feet. Can spin. Can drive. That's the one thing we don't have. Players that drive. At the last 2 games, who've been playing? Emil Skriniar, Saka, and Gabriel Martinelli. All 3 of them drive at players, right? And when they spin, they get the ball, and the first instance is to drive at players. Nobody else does that, and that's what we're missing because we don't have people that are progressing the play enough. Xhaka plays it back to freaking centre backs. Elneny plays it back to centre backs. Let me not get vexed, but sometimes it's so jarring.
In our midfield, I definitely get what you're talking about, because in our midfield, the people that do look to do forward passes was previously Guendouzi, but now it's Partey.
Exactly.
So, Ceballos is doing a lot more now. So it's only 3, well, technically 2 players that can do it in our team. Well, the other 2 players just equalize them and just
exactly. And this is the thing, because they're not enough. Because we need, because they're playing Elneny and Xhaka in a pivot will never win you a game if you don't have players off them that are driving the game. That's why that's why Willian really confuses me, because he's very able to pick up the ball and drive at players, but he just doesn't do it. Same with Pepe. He doesn't do it enough.
I personally,
that's what annoys me. It's just
I personally think.
Go on. Sorry.
In terms of the Willian front, no, you're cool. In terms of the Willian front, I personally think because he's not playing on the left. When he was at Chelsea, he was playing on the left. He done a lot at Chelsea, but when he came to us, he's been employed mainly on the right. So, I can see why Arteta is doing it, because he always moves. His attack is very left-sided.
It's so left-sided.
He decoys everyone. Yeah, no. I think it's good for what he's trying to do, because when he decoys everyone to the left, Willian hugs the touchline, or whoever is playing on the right hugs the touchline. So all it needs is a cross-field ball, and that's it.
I get you.
And then now imagine the winger on the right wing on his best foot, fizzing in that low cross. But you get
I get you.
My point. So I can see what he's trying to do when he puts Willian there, but he needs, when he's not working, you're better off. Who else does he have in the team?
Nelson.
Right.
So do you know who's been playing who played last 2 games? Saka has been playing on the right, and he's bossed it, because he stands up. He does directly run at people. The only problem with him is that because he's so left-footed, he cuts in a bit more, but it actually helps us because he cuts in, and because then he plays off Emil Smith-Rowe, the Lacazette, and then Bellerin bombards forward. Then we have tiki-taka, then we have some space, and then we have some balls in the box. It makes sense, this is the thing about it, right? Football is very simple. It's very simple what you need to do. You make shapes, and he said it. Arteta said it. You make shapes, you make angles, you make small, quick passes, and move players around. But the problem with us is that we do that, but we don't do it quick enough.
Yeah, no one can. Yeah.
Don't do it quick enough.
Yeah, it's true, because if you pass diagonally, it's actually impossible to even intercept.
Exactly.
It's very hard. It's the straight passes that everyone intercepts. But I know what he's trying to do, because he's trying to get everyone to play in triangles, which is
exactly
difficult without the team.
Without the players in that. That's why I think that's why Grealish is a perfect player for it, because he's quick. He's very techie, and I think he's more left-sided, but I do believe he can do a job across right behind the striker,
across the middle. Yeah, I agree with you. And who do you think we should develop, put our eggs in one basket with?
Do you want me to say a player that there's for me, I already think that one player. I think Saka. I think Saka is the way. Hands down. I think Saka's the way because I think
Why Saka?
he is, for me, one of the most exciting players I've seen in a long time. And the thing, his control, his level of like he's just so smooth on the ball. He's fast. He's able to I know it's so raw as well. He's so nice. That's the thing. Have you ever seen? Have you? This is the thing. Like, see him last two games, right? In areas where most other players have sort of been like passing it back or like being really hesitant and stuff. He's very cool and calm. He'll stop the ball. He'll drive at you. He'll do the spin. He gets a lot of assists. His assist rate is amazing. I genuinely think. Like I know I think we were talking about it. We were saying that maybe making him into a cam could be the way forward because
I had that idea, yeah. I actually had that idea a lot more when you suggested Grealish.
Yeah.
When you suggested Grealish, he takes up Saka's role in it, which actually allows him. I want you to explain the cam role to everyone.
I think because for me, like one of the best cams at the moment for me are the likes of the Buendia, to be honest, Jack Grealish and when he plays in that position, and someone like, and then someone, there's not even anybody specifically, but I think the cam role, I think someone just who plays that is inside forward, right behind the striker, who can link between the striker and the center mid. Because I feel like Arteta is always going to play this pivot that he wants. He's always going to play two in the middle, right? So we need someone to link. There's a gap in that link. Emil Smith-Rowe has been playing there well. He's been doing all right. But I think Saka is a lot better because he's just a bit quicker. His touch is so much better. His vision is amazing. His speed, and then his calmness on the ball. And then when he drives at players, when he's able to turn over and drive, he's gone. He's tech. He's techie. Oh, the tech. It's mad. It's mad. I love that guy, man. I love that kid.
I agree, and I even said on. Same here. Like and even when I said, I think I even said on Twitter that he should be moved into a central. More
fam. Do you know what? When you said that, it made sense. It
reminds me so much of Hazard for some reason. It reminds me so much of Hazard. So imagine if Grealish comes now and plays in that left and doesn't go in the middle. And you see Saka move to the, I hope he goes into the middle because for some reason, I think that Arteta might try him on the right because he's done so well here in the last two games. He might put him and just keep him on the right. So we may never see.
I do think so as well. Yeah.
Position, I think it will thrive. I honestly do. That is passing stats. It's passing stats over fam.
Let me tell you something, right? I think I have a way to explain why I think the cam position is probably his best position. In this year, in 2020, he's got 15 assists, the most assists I think of any teenager, really, right? Cool, 15 assists, amazing stuff. Then add that to the fact that exactly from the left, add that to the fact that he's a all-purpose player, like as in we've seen him play almost all positions, and he can do a job. So the way that Arteta wants his cam or his number 10s to play is that very, very much press and then obviously defend. So he can clearly do the job. So someone who's getting that many assists, and half of those assists were when he was playing like a left wing back, right? And you're telling me if you put him in the center where he's able to just ping the boys, and then you have Martinelli and Aubameyang off him. Nah, man, he's getting 15, 20 assists a season, man, if you put him there, bruv.
Yeah. I see it too. I see it too.
Well, put him.
Those are your free players. Saka. He wants to.
Get rid of that. Get rid of that bomb, buff.
He wants to get rid of Kolasinac. I am with you on that Kolasinac front. Get
no worries, bro.
But yeah, thank you so much on joining me today. Um, I enjoy talking to you. But
Yeah, yeah,
before I do go, there is news that I don't know how verified
yeah.
this is,
I've seen
but
some news
apparently we
about
might
the.
be
Yeah.
signing Emi Buendia for 15 mil. Like apparently he wants to
Mm,
go, and yeah, and Norwich are open
mm,
to selling him, which I'm like, you know what, it makes
yeah,
sense that he would actually want to
yeah, yeah,
leave
of course.
because
Yeah, you know.
Norwich could easily become Brentford and just not get that promotion. Could you imagine him and not in all season? Like, I can't imagine him doing that. And I do feel with that kind of, I do think that's the only bargaining chip Arsenal have. Do you want to be another Brentford? And that's enough to be honest. Say that to a professional player. That's enough to strike fear in anyone
Yeah,
because you didn't have to say
yeah.
Brentford.
No,
You
no.
just
Ah, no. Leeds are doing well at the moment. You can't
do,
knock them.
you want to be like Leeds? That's enough. I do think, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No. Yeah.
yeah,
Now they are.
exactly.
But imagine in
They
2018
yeah
when
they're
they
doing
were in first.
doing decent. Like
Where's
they
Norwich right now? I
still a
think
long way
Norwich.
to go though.
Where Norwich second? I think. I think they're second.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Nah,
Like,
but
let me quickly
I'm
look at the
Brandia. I
table.
suppose if I speak on him a little bit, I think he'd be a
So
good sign.
do bear
I
with me
haven't.
one
I'll
second.
be honest. I
Sorry,
haven't watched much of him. I
I
did watch one or two
got
games. I think Norwich last season, and he balled. He's a good player. He's a very good player. He's very astute. Um, do you know one player that would be good? One player that, especially after yesterday, Basuma.
yeah, 100%.
Him and Party in a pivot, bossing it. That guy is class. That guy was. He's good.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I I I agree. I agree based on what I saw, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's one of those ones where I have to it's one of those ones where I haven't really
Oh,
had much time to
he
actually look at
was
him.
too smooth.
So
He was like,
I only saw yesterday's game
yeah,
for the
yeah. No,
first
of
time,
course.
and I thought he bossed it.
Like
I thought he did all right, but
I can't be
for
too
me,
excited. Like, I
for
think
me,
one
I can't
thing
get
that's
excited
happened
to.
that I've realized over the years,
You
even
what?
though we
Yeah,
sign players that are
yeah.
good,
Um,
apparently they turn out to be shit. So like, look, I don't trust any unless I've seen these guys boss it for years. I ain't gonna trust nothing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Cam.
so here's the so I've got the league standings here for the championship. Norwich are first with 44 points, 22 games. Swansea at 21 points with 39. Swansea at second with 39 points with 21 games, and Bournemouth at third
Mm.
with 38 points with 20 games. That's 2 games in hand, so they could pretty much leapfrog Norwich if they win those two
Yeah, yeah.
games in hand. And Brentford, Watford, and Reading are the next. Stoke is next. So those are the top seven. If I was Buendia and Arsenal came knocking in, I'll be gone. I'm sorry. Like just looking
Yeah,
at the
of
table,
course.
it can go so many
No, no,
ways.
I'd be
And
the
you've
same.
got how many games left in
Like
the season? Like 25 more games to
if
play.
if we put
25.
in some money, if we say like yeah, put in some money for him,
I
and
can't I can't see him
I
staying.
think
I can't
our
see him
pulling
staying.
power
I think it might happen.
would get him, and I think he'd be a decent signing.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mm,
think yeah.
yeah,
No, without a shadow of a doubt. I think he plays on the right and drifts
yeah,
inside.
and
So
or you
we
can play
definitely
on the
need a right
bench,
winger as well. We need a right winger so that William can be
or you can stay on the
allowed to play on the
bench.
left and the
I
right.
saw a tweet. Someone was like,
They've
"William's
got
best
options.
position was yesterday," and I was like,
Definitely.
"You're a dickhead," but it's true because last 2 games he hasn't played. I've not been pissed
My
off,
God.
So, but look, this is the thing. I do too, right? But
Man said, I actually like William. I actually like William.
yeah,
I actually like
when he was
William.
at Shakhtar,
Like, believe me, when before he went to Chelsea, I actually
you've been
wanted
following
him to
him for
come to
time.
Arsenal. I actually wanted him to come to Arsenal, honestly. Yeah. Bro. But anyway, thanks so much. I just wanted to
No worries,
get
bro.
your opinions on that. I personally think it's not that bad. But thank you so much for talking to us, talking to me, and hopefully we can do this again. Do check
Yeah.
out the Pints of Malt podcast. They talk about
Plug
the fact that
myself.
he's living in
Yeah,
Ireland. But
yeah.
you
No,
know what?
firstly,
Why don't you do it?
really and truly, thank you for having me on. I appreciate that.
Do all
Always good
this
to
while I
chat
just
about
sit back
football
and
and Arsenal. Even though I get annoyed
do your thing,
sometimes, I
my
still
guy.
love the team. So I always love chatting to them. So definitely thank you for having me on. Yeah, make sure to check out Pints and Malt, guys. Which is basically a podcast. I'm based in Ireland. Me and three friends. We're all Nigerian, so we all just talk about growing up in Ireland, our experiences, just have the laughs, and then we talk about social issues, what's going on, all that kind of stuff. And then also check out Slight Motive, which is go on. No, yeah, I was just gonna plug Slight.
I think
No
that's
worries, I was
interesting
just gonna.
because sorry.
No, your camp. I was just gonna plug Slight Motive
I
as
just,
well. So
I
basically,
just
it's an
your
online
flow. My bad.
urban platform where
My
we just
bad.
promote urban culture, artists, poets, anybody, content creators doing some really dope stuff that wouldn't get a spotlight anyway. Usually we spotlight them. We have a magazine, a few issues out. All our socials are. You'll find the socials in the tabs as well. So definitely check it out there. But yeah, that's this kind of stuff. That's what I've been up to, anyways. But like, yeah, as I said, I appreciate you having me on.
No worries, no worries. I always get this last part. I do want people to know about the guests. I don't like doing at the start. I
Yeah.
see a lot of interviews. It's too boring. I just want to get to the thing. You know what I mean? Where they talk about the guests and then like, oh yeah, this and that. No, let's do it at the end. Like right now, we're talking about this. We're talking about football. So no. In all fairness, I think that's very interesting, that podcast. Because I never
Oh,
thought black people were in Ireland. So like
oh my
seriously,
days, you man,
the first few
you
episodes
got
I listened, I was like,
you got the guys that
dude,
make us
like,
sick because you think nobody lives in.
wow, there's black
Fuck
people
outta
here.
here, man. Yeah, there's black people in Ireland, bro.
There's a black.
Nah,
Wow, it's
you are
true.
taking a
I did not
piss.
expect.
You are taking
I
a
did not even
piss.
expect them. I did not even
You are
expect them to
moving
ship
mad
super
here.
malt. They actually have super
Moving
malt
absolutely mad.
in Ireland. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I'm playing my guy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for to all of you for tuning in onto Celly SZN. Apologies for that. I got caught up in my own spit, but um, thank you so much for Kenny for tuning in, and I will see you on the next episode. I do have a couple of announcements to actually announce. I am bringing out a new series called Sell Reports. So this is literally I'm talking about transfer targets that are being linked, as well as people that are found, and I'm trying to bring as much information about them as possible, which is like their key stats, whether how they'll fit into the team, if they're to be signed, formation, etc. All those things. I'll be doing that as well as interviewing other fans from, like, for example, if like how we played Chelsea. I've got an interview lined up next week. More details to come. I've got a Chelsea fan there. I'm looking for a Brighton fan to interview, as well as a West Brom fan who is next. So honestly, these are the stuff that I've got planned for the channel. So I do hope that you guys can stick around,
You can
subscribe,
find me at
and keep that
Kenji16. So
going.
that's Before I do
Kengy,
16.
get
I'm
back
on
to
Twitter
Kenny one more
and
time.
Instagram.
How can they
Both
find you? What's your
handle.
socials?
And then check out Pints of Malt, and then Slight Motif. So it's with an F at the end. So you can check them out all out there. Yeah, of course. Has to be the way. Has to be the way.
See, Kenji knows about marketing. You keep everything the same. Keep everything consistent. Everyone finds you easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can barely remember
and
things
yeah,
like that. So
no,
please
not
don't
even them.
don't
I
try
just
don't
find it
try and
confusing. I'm
let
like,
me get me
okay, I gotta go
doing
on your
that.
Instagram for this, then it's different for that. Hey, it is what it is. It is what. Yeah. Again, once again, very, 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 very good talking to you. Hopefully, we'll have you back on. If you're also an Arsenal fan as well, do hit me up if you want to talk to me in regards to Arsenal. I'll also be doing. I will also be doing. This might interest you. I'll be streaming
Might
every
need
match
it.
that we play, and doing a call-in session where, let's say that we're losing, I can be the therapist and and nurse everyone back to back to health. Where it's like, hey, come vent over here, call in. I'll be using Zoom to do it. So we'll be having. Look, it's gonna be a party over here. I've got So this is the best time to join Celly SZN. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, as well as share this. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is gonna be the longest outro I have ever done in my life. So I really need to wrap this up now.
Peace out. Cheers,
so,
bro.
I'll speak to you guys later. Have a good day. Have a good evening, Kenny. I'll speak to you later, and hopefully everything goes well.
That was calm, bro.
And
that
your
was
projects. See you guys on the next video. Peace out. Bye.